What's good, sports fans? My name is Damian Adams from The Real Deal with Damian Adams and the Third and Three podcast. Go ahead and subscribe to those podcasts wherever you listen to podcasts. And go ahead and check out fantasydata.com. Use my promo code REAL411 to get 25% off. Now, today I'm coming to you with my reaction to Canelo Alvarez retaining his unified Super Middleweight Championships in a very easy way, right? It was a third round technical knockout of Yildrum. And not much to break down. Canelo was doing awesome things, uppercuts, body shots that just seemed so painful, and knocked him down with a straight right hand after a nice jab, classic 1-2 combo that knocked Yildrum down in the third round. But for me, how did Yildrum become the mandatory challenger for the WBC? What is the WBC doing? So if you look at the super middleweight just landscape right now, David Benavidez is the #1 ranked contender on most sanctioning bodies, right? David Benavidez is undefeated. He has some good wins over Anthony Durrell. He is a menacing dude at 168, right? And he hasn't lost. He lost his title on the scale, not in the ring. So why wouldn't David Benavidez be the mandatory challenger for Canelo? Yildrum hasn't fought in 2 years. He's probably sitting on his couch chilling, and somebody gave him a call like, yo, WBC is making you the mandatory for Canelo. He's like, what? Let me go train, at least make this weight so I can get this money. Pretty sure that's how it went. That's how it looked, because he didn't throw any punches back pretty much. He threw maybe a counter hook here, a counter hook there, but wasn't much coming back. He went in there to get beat down, get this money. And we don't need these fights in boxing, right? Now, you can't avoid mandatories. I know, mandatory means it must happen, but in boxing, you can avoid it. So if you have a mandatory challenger, but you have a more profitable fight that you want to make, you can give the mandatory challenger a step aside fee. We've seen it before where you can pay that challenger $500,000, $800,000, $1 million to step aside, and you can make a lot more in a more profitable fight and get all that money back plus more by fighting somebody else. We've seen it happen multiple times. So I feel like Canelo just wanted to stay busy and be warmed up and ready to go for May when he fights against Billy Joe Saunders. But I need the sanctioning bodies to do a better job of making the mandatories true contenders. Yildrum had no shot. No shot in this fight. He should not have been in the ring with Canelo, not in the same stadium with Canelo. He don't deserve to be breathing Canelo's air, right, at this point. That was horrible. Now, for Canelo, his next fight is against Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders is a favorite of mine. I don't really rock with him outside the ring. He's done some wild stuff. But in that ring, he's a monster. Great boxer. Somebody who will talk to you while doing it to you. Like, I became familiar with him a couple of years ago when he fought against David Lemieux. David Lemieux is a contender at super middleweight, somebody not to be played with, and Billy Joe Saunders played with him the whole time. Just, okay. Just tagging them with jabs, every once in a while hitting them with the straight, just killing them and talking to them the whole time. And he's very skilled. Billy Joe has the whole arsenal of punches and somebody who can give Canelo a hard time. We've seen Canelo struggle with boxers that are slick like this previously. Of course, the biggest example is Floyd Mayweather, but even Erislandy Lara gave Canelo a very hard time with his slick boxing. So that's something I'm looking forward to, is a good style matchup in May. But this just wasn't needed. It wasn't needed. It was an easy payday for Yildrum and Canelo. Yildrum got beat up. It's not, I shouldn't say easy, right? Because getting hit by Canelo, getting knocked out, taking them body shots isn't easy. But, if you give me $1 million plus after taxes, I think about it. I had to lose a lot of weight to get down to 168, but I'll think about it. Go in there, take some punches, get knocked out by Canelo, and be a millionaire afterwards? It would cross my mind. I might turn it down still for my health, but I would think about it. But for Canelo going forward, we have to appreciate what we're seeing. I know Yildrum wasn't the best opponent, but we should definitely appreciate watching an all-time great in his prime. I think that's the main takeaway we should take away from this fight. We're watching an all-time great in his prime. And we have to appreciate it. All right? So until next time, go real or go home.